Hey, Terry, how are you on this day?
I'm good, except for when those scratches come out that close to starting time, it just really makes you rush
It
around.
makes you feel a little nutty.
Yeah, and I didn't expect them to come out because they don't race till this afternoon, but I guess they get them out early there.
Well, I guess the earlier the better, huh?
Yeah, that's true, but not so close to our starting time.
No, it makes always makes for a mad dash,
It
right? That's
does.
always fun, and I'm always so kind of surprised that we sometimes actually make it on time,
That's
which
right.
it's a woo. I don't know. I'm sending Terry email text, and I could tell he's getting a little salty with me by the tone of the text that I get. I'm working on it. I can just hear it in the background.
No, I'm not upset with you. So
Just with the
stressed.
people with the late scratches, right?
That's right. Just stressed at them. So
Absolutely. Did you get a chance to watch us with Jorge A. Vargas last night?
I did. It was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. I thought a little bit. It's a lot of a little more fun than we usually have. I'm going to say more fun, but a little bit more like a little funnier than usual. I felt like because he was really good personality, a good sport, and one of the things that he had mentioned on his Twitter feed is that he was, there's another jockey that rides at Penn National.
Yeah.
Jorge L. Vargas. And he said he was watching the Sixers, his favorite basketball team, playing basketball. And he's getting all these texts. Man, you suck. You got to get a better ride. You suck. And he said, I just forward him to the other guy. I don't even think about it, which is pretty funny to me.
Yeah, it is funny. It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I liked his smile. He has a great smile. So
yeah, very, very charismatic guy too. It was a lot of fun last night, I felt like. And then of course, yesterday we had a pretty good day. Hit both of those, the hot dog and the prime rib pick four. So I think together over almost $600 worth of pick four winnings yesterday.
That's right. And then that box set up where I changed that one horse came out pretty darn good.
Thank you, Mike. Right.
Yeah, it did. And, the trifecta paid something like $180. Exacta paid, I don't remember, 56 or something like that.
Yeah, because that 3-horse went off at 9-1, and Mike's one horse was 3-1, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was absolutely a solid showing for the horse racing today. Terry, Rich, and of course, everybody else who joins us with their input. That makes it helped Terry, because without that one, that doesn't happen. So I think you got to tip your hat to Mike.
Here we go.
There you go. Indeed. Well, today, as Terry mentioned, we're going to be doing Turfway Park. I too didn't expect to see all those scratches come out kind of late. And I'm just going to warn everybody up the front. This is a big, deep card across the board. And some of the horses in here, Terry, I don't know how you would classify them, but I wouldn't say it's the strongest group of horses that we've come across.
No, it was really hard for me to do the handicapping on some of those races, and especially with some of the scratches, because a lot of my good horses got scratched. So
I'm going to just warn everybody up front. I teed a few up. Yesterday at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, we blew it out at Turfway Park, so I hope I can do the same thing today. But I teed a few shots up in here, Terry, today because I figured the fields there wasn't really any standout. I didn't feel that any race there was a standout horse. Did you?
No.
I mean, there's a 4-5 morning line favorite in race number 2, I think it is, the 7-horse. He should probably destroy the field, but then again, it's like a claiming 5,000 or something like that. So
yeah.
But we will find out. So let's get going with race number 1, Terry. It's a 5.5 furlong race. It is on all weather, like all races there are on all weather tracks, Terry. And at 5.5 furlongs on the all weather track so far at the meet, there have been 121 races. Boy, they run quite a few of these shorties. 74 of them won by speed, Terry. 38 of 121, so really not that big of a number. Went wire to wire. There is a rail and inside 3 bias. And if you catch a number 4 through 7, it is better than wearing a number 8. So let me just pull up all of our picks today, Terry, and you can start to walk us through the last day you're here until Saturday as to why you like what you like.
Okay, then let's get going.
Let's get cracking. Let me
That's
pull up
right.
the picks. There you go.
All right. In the first race, I like number one, Party Next Door. She finished third on the dirt in her only start after being bumped at the start and has the highest last speed rating. And the trainer wins 28% of the time in entries that start their second career race. They added Lasix for this one.
Can I ask you one quick question, though, Terry,
Yeah.
about this one horse? Because this is one on paper should run away with this race, right?
Yeah.
So last time out at Keeneland, which is a premier track, right? No question about that. The horse runs for maiden special weight 60,000. Now it comes back, and that was in April. It comes back for maiden claiming 5,000. That doesn't concern you at all. It doesn't smell just a little bit.
It does, yeah. It concerns me, but then every time I let that affect me, I end up picking the wrong way. So
I almost feel like driving down to Turfway today, because if this horse is what they thought it was, it made in 60 at Keeneland, where it actually was all right bet. I mean, it was only 9-1 out of the box. I feel like maybe we should drive down to Keeneland and come up with $5,000, Terry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could.
I'm not Keeneland, but Turfway, yeah.
Turfway,
we can't do that online, can we?
No, I don't think so. I think you have to be there. So
anyway, that was just my thinking when I was looking at that one horse. You could see I still have him in my picks, but I figured I'm going to try to beat him with one. But go ahead.
All right. Well, I like number 4, Dimples of Venus, as my second pick. She's improved her speed rating in the last 3 races in a row. The jockey Alice Beckman returns to ride, and she rode her in her 2 best finishes to date. Then number 6, One Fast Orb, drops in class today. The trainer wins 50% of the time. And in the last in her first start, the trainer wins 50% of the time in the first start with a turn, and blinkers are added today. And number 2, War Tango, drops in class today. The trainer wins 21% of the time when using blinkers.
And if you look at the numbers across the screen, Terry, you can see you and I. This is the first time, I think, in a long time where we have a ton of disagreement. So this is going to be an interesting day. I think, like I said, I took some in here. I'm going to swing for the fences on a few picks in here today, hoping to catch 1 or 2. Some nice exactas, nice trifectas. I think personally, it's going to be difficult to string 4 wins in a row together, to be honest. So I would be looking at exactas, trifectas, superfectas today, and probably focused a little bit more on, if you're going to do the pick 4s, I'd probably look to do some of the cheaper ones, but hell, you never know. We might hit a few.
That's true.
Anyway, number 6, One Fast Orb, is the top pick for me in race number 1. Flashed some early pace in its last race, and it's dropping from a maiden claiming 15 to 5. The horse has always been well bet, has the top pedigree. If you look back a little bit, it has some very strong early pace class. And I think you're going to see some improvement off of these 6 horses. As I mentioned with Terry, when we talked about Party Next Door, this horse has the top early pace numbers, first time Lasix, 20 workouts of furlongs at Turfway since its race on December 12th. It's the first race, though, since April 11th. The horse is making a major drop. So a maiden special weight 60,000 to maiden claiming 5, although the purse is 12 grand. But man, Terry, I live in Chicago, and one of the things in Chicago, I don't know, have you ever been to the Sears Tower, Terry?
I have, yes.
So when you go to the Sears Tower and you get in the elevator, right? It's an express elevator all the way up. You don't make any stops in the middle. Well, if you work at the Sears Tower, there's no such thing. There's like elevators that go to different like sections of the building. Mm-hmm. So you got to get off and then get on another elevator and so forth. But anyway, I view this as when you're leaving the observatory, you don't usually see people leave the observatory with trainers and then take the express train all the way to the first floor. Normally, they'll make a few stops along the way down. That's why this drop really, really stinks to me.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the horse does seem like it should be the best horse in the field. Number 5, Top Hat Boss, showed some good late pace improvement in its last race. And what's good about that to me is that he caught some really slow fractions. So it's most of the time it's kind of hard to close into slow fractions. So when you see some improvement in slow fractions, that does stand out a little bit to me. And I feel like this horse will be a little bit closer to the pace than it looks like on paper. And it's pretty much the same story for number 9, Amaries. This is also a horse in the same race that closed into a very slow pace, but it showed an improvement in its 4 furlong and late pace numbers. And if you look at its race history at Turfway Park, 3 times, hasn't won, but it does have a second and a third. Any other track on the planet, at least the 16 that races that it's ran before, Terry, 0 wins, 1 second, 0 thirds. Looks to me like maybe Amaries is a potential horse for the Turfway Park course.
Could be.
Man, never know. I mean, this is just going to be a wild, fun day. I'm looking forward to see how these things actually work out. So if there is such thing as a best bet in race number 2, Terry, 1 mile all-weather track. If you look at 1 mile at Turfway Park, they have run 99 races. So I put in here 50-50, and everybody's probably like, how can you possibly be 50-50? Well, 49 of them were won by speed horses, and then 50 of them were won by off-the-pace horses. So that's about as close as 50-50 as you can. And then this horse, and then you have an inside 3 bias here, Terry. I'm sorry. With 4 through 7 performing better than 8 and out. And I'm making number 1, Down Home Kitty, a very reluctant best bet today, but I am encouraged to see, Terry, that it is also your top pick. Despite the speed number drop last time out, it did have improved 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers. And maybe you can account or attribute the back end of that race to being bumped and checked. And at Turfway Park, and it's important to consider how horses run at Turfway and or all weather, because it is an all weather track and some horses perform well and some don't. But at Turfway, 5 races, 1 win, 2 seconds, and a third. Why do you like Down Home Kitten?
Well, as you said, I'm going to throw out that last race as he was off slow, was bumped and checked. And I like the fact that the trainer wins 22% of the claiming races that he enters a horse in. And the horse has done very well, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Are You Talking to Me? Finished third. Yeah, Are You Talking to Me? You know, that was actually, that was not part of the script. That was ad-libbed by, I forget who played the main character in Taxi. But anyway, finished third versus similar on the dirt last race and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And a jockey in the last 7 days has won 5 out of 16 races and been on the money 11 times. Number 5, Irish Declaration, finished third versus similar in the last race. And this trainer wins 33% of the time the first race after claiming a horse. It has the best all-weather speed among today's starters. And number 10, English Challenge, likes the track and the distance and drops in class today.
I think this might be the race on the day that we have the most agreement. We agree on 3 horses here, Terry, which is, I think it might be the most agreement. You maybe want to take all of our picks and just box them, and maybe the winner will be in one of them. I have number 3, Fred's Country Home. I told you I'm going to take some shots here today. So I'm tossing up that ball. I'm hoping that the pitcher's throwing a fastball. I'm sitting on it, Terry, and hoping that I can knock it out of the park. And if not, I'll probably swing and miss, because that's the nature of baseball today. Home run, walk, or strikeout. Fred's Country Boy is a major, if you look in the past performances, 2 furlong, 4 furlong, and late pace improvement. So, horse, I would not be at all surprised to see break on the lead, and the race could be kind of a slow race in here. And just to kind of back up or confirm my suspicions, the horse did run some of the best 2 furlong fractions. I mean, it is 2 furlong, quarter mile. Yes, some of the fastest quarter mile fractions in any horse in this field. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So maybe this long shot can do something for me. Number 10, English Challenge on the all-weather, as I mentioned, is an important way to look at these horses. 10 races, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. And the horse is making a small drop. Ran for 27 grand last time out. This time around, running for 14. And finally, Irish Declaration, number 5, is making its 3rd start off a layoff. Major improvement last time out in its late pace numbers. And if you look at its distance on the all-weather, the horse has run 7 times, 3 wins, 0 seconds, and a third. Clearly its best distance, particularly on the all-weather track. And this horse has the top pedigree for the distance and the surface. Now, here's where things get really fun, Terry, because we have your box it up, right? Is in this race here.
Yep.
You have the 5, the 7, the 10, and the 2. I have the 7 and the 10, and there's no agreement afterwards. So only on 2 horses.
That's true. Yeah,
So
that's very.
Only one of us can have the trifecta or superfecta here, Terry.
That's right. Well, this is the race that there's probably going to be the shortest price, and that's the number 7. But I think I'm going to beat it with the number 5. This point in time, finished second at Turfway Park and at today's distance, improving in his race speed rating in each of the last 4 races. And then number 7, the early morning favorite, is going to named From Me. Has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today. The trainer wins 41% of the time when dropping a class down 2 classes. And his best start speed, as fast as one of today's starters. He is well bet in the debut and has a good workout. But I still think he's going to get beat. Number 10, Old Bew, finished 4th in his last race after being bumped at the start, drops in class today. And then number 2, Air Force Wars. Breeding suits today's sprint distance and has a decent workout. 11th of February, 49.3 breezing, 26th out of 63.
Yes, and Terry, as you mentioned yesterday, had a $150.50 trifecta off of his box it up. And that's where we take a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, take 4 horses, box them all up, and see what we come up with. Terry, I think the 7 horse, just on paper, Froomey, whatever. This horse ran the top last race speed figure, and there's not another horse that's in the same zip code as that horse. So if he runs that same race, I don't see how anybody beats him. But if he doesn't, well, here's the thing. He's 4 to 5 morning line favorite. What do you think he goes off at?
Oh, I think 2 to 5, probably.
Yeah, I suspect those numbers. And I would be highly encouraged if the numbers go up, because that would tell me that most of the people on the ground think that something's going to beat it. So anyway, early pace figures, first speed, looks like the best of the bunch. But I also think the 10 horse Old Boy is going to get it. Old boy. Never mind. Old boy. Wait, come on. Old Bo. Come on, Rich. Old Bo.
Yeah, Bo.
Yes, having a little brain fog there this morning. I didn't even have a Slurpee. The hell? A horse, you look at it, it's race internals last time out. Old boy, never mind. Old Bo. Damn it. Come on, Rich. Its internals improved across the board last time. It's the 3rd race. Dropped last time off $30,000, $15,000 this time out. I think class relief should be enough for Old Bo. Like, now I got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
but I'm going to try to split the 2 horses with some long shots. Number 1 on the rail, Petty Thief. This horse is moving. Last time out, it debuted, and it had to run from post position 11 in an 11-horse field. And it showed some really strong early pace numbers at the 2 furlong and 4 furlong markers, but it had to run wide all the way around the track. So moving to the inside, I think, is going to significantly improve Petty Thief's chances. Was okay bet in its debut too. And if you look at those fractions, they were pretty good. They were some of the fastest fractions any horse ran last time out. And it's taking a small drop. Ran for maiden claiming 20 last time, so down to 15. I wouldn't be surprised to see that horse runs better than its 15 to 1 odds. Number 11, Fama y Dinero. I don't know what the Fama means, but I know it says something and money. So I'm hoping whatever it is, it means it's finishing in the money. This one's taken the Tom Carley drop, was made in special weight last time, 62,000. Maiden claiming 15 this time, is getting the first time pop of Lasix. And I like when they combine that with a horse that has some early pace, and this horse does. Showed some improvement in the first half and quarter mile last time out, and had a really strong workout on January the 15th, and has a 7-pound weight drop. Yesterday, that horse that I mentioned that had the 10-pound weight drop, Terry, almost went wire to wire, just got beat at the wire. So I think that all that combination should work out well for the 11 horse. Now it's my turn to take a crack at a box it up, Terry. Race number 4. So we agree on the 1 and the 3. and nothing else, right?
Nothing else. Nope.
Yes. So again, this is where we take a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box, 4 horses. We box them up. Race number 4, Terry, is 1 mile. We talked about that. That's 50-50 split between horses that close, horses that have speed. You have a little bit of an inside 3 bias with post 4 through 7 outperforming numbers 8 or above. I'm going to start off with number 1, Adma. It run twice at Turfway Park. They were both the best runs for that horse, and both of them were when the horse was coming back from a break, just like today. Horse had a pretty good run on December the 26th, had two nice workouts since, and that last race produced a speed figure over par for this group, as did number 10, Golden Voice. It has the top pedigree, which also resulted in a last race speed figure over par. 16 furlongs workout for this horse, Terry, since its last race on January 12th, where it put up the top last race speed number. Number 6, Ice Queen, is dropping from an allowance $63,000 to claiming 30. It's one of the most consistent performers in the pack in terms of its speed numbers. Had decent work heading into this race. And trainer Ben Colebrook does win 7 of 21 times the next time out with a first-time claimer. So right off the claim, 33% winner. Finally, hopefully cleaning up my box it up, is number 3, Miss Aldine. It gets the top jockey in Gerardo Corrales. This horse has put in some good workouts, 13 furlongs worth since January the 16th. So I have no question that Miss Adeline should be firm, fit, and ready to run for the top jockey there. How are you going to stack them up?
Well, first of all, I was very disappointed that number 12, Rhubarb Martini was scratched, had Smokin' Joe Talamo, and I thought that was a really good pick today. But anyway, I like number 7, Dial Again. Finished in the money in 4 of her 5-time lifetime races, and she's won the last one. Had a high percentage winning jockey and a best dirt speed is fastest than the average winning speed. Then number 3, Miss Adeline. Finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, switches to a high percentage jockey, who in the last 7 days has won 5 out of 16 starts. And then number 1, Adma.
Hey, Adma.
Yeah, ran second 2 races in a row, including and versus similar. And then she has the best all-weather speed among today's starters. And then number 5, Pianalia.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah, we'll take that.
This horse, she drops in class today, and she wins and wins 27%. The trainer wins 27% of the time in all-weather races.
Now, so I went through my best bet today, Terry. Your best race today is not at Turfway Park, right?
No.
You decided that you wanted to give everybody a little bit of a different flavor, and you went with Gulfstream Park, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So let me pull that up on the screen. Let's talk a little bit about Terry's best race of the day, and that is Gulfstream Park, race number 7, if I'm correct. Tell us what you like in Gulfstream Park today, race 7, and why.
All right. Well, first of all, let me let you know that yesterday my horse ran 3rd, my best bet, at Gulfstream in the 6th. And then my 3rd pick actually won the race. But today, my best bet is the 7th race at Gulfstream. I like number 1, Lady J. Finished in the money 66% of the time during her career, and she's won 33% of those races. She's in really good form right now and likes the turf and the distance. And then number 2, Cousin Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo. Cousin, yeah. I can't pronounce Bo, but I can say Cousin Hullabaloo.
That's right.
There's something wrong with my brain today.
I know. Well, she hit the gate at the start, which really affected her performance last race. And she's finished in the money 4 out of 5 times on the turf, and the distance won't be a problem for her. And then number 5, Super All-Star, trained by Mark Cassie, and won her first race after being off for almost a year. She then followed up with a 4th place finish, coming 3 wide into the stretch. Edwin Gonzalez is returning to ride the daughter of Union Rags.
Some nice pedigree there then, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So now we're going to go from Florida back to Kentucky. where we're going to go to race number 4, I think, Terry, right? Did I lose track, or did we just do? No, we just did race 4. Now we're going to do race number 5.
We're going to do race 5. You're absolutely right.
And what is race 5, Terry?
Okay, race 5 is the I forget what you call it, but
the race of death.
Death, yes, where the first pick 4 ends and the second pick 4 starts.
So the race of death is 6.5 furlongs on the all-weather track. It's claiming 15,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. And if you look at 6.5 furlongs, Terry, 53 races, 34 won by speed, 16 of which went wire to wire. There is a very strong inside 3 bias. Of course, with mine, I went straight ahead with the 13 horse, the one on the outside. But in any case, Terry, and you don't even have the 13 horse, which is kind of shocking to me, but I think you're going to regret that. But go ahead. Why do you tell us what you like and why you like them?
Well, first of all, they scratched 2 of my horses and 2 of my top picks. So I went to number 5, Miss Giddy Up. She finished in the money 3 out of 4 races at Tampa Bay Downs, winning the last race at today's distance. And then number 8, Sweet Spin, drops in class today. And the jockey in her last 7 days has a record of 16 starts. And he's finished in the money 11 times, winning 5 of those. Then number 4, Lucky Shore, finished in the money 50% of the races last year and won one of those races. Number 12, Mandolin, drops in class today and shortens up to 6.5 furlongs, which should help.
I'm going to start with number 13. I said if she gets in my notes, well, she got in because I was like you, Terry, not expecting to see the scratches this early in the morning. Sources first off the claim, trainer Stephen Asmussen, one of the top trainers in the world, unquestionably. When he claims horses for the last 416 times, he's won 83 of them. And Mr. Asmussen has this horse working out very well heading into this race. So I'm happy about that. Number 2, Delightful Breeze. This is another one of those horses, Terry, that when you're looking for horses that are on the improve, showed improvement in its 2 furlong, 2 furlong, 4 furlong, and late pace numbers. And if you look at the fractions last time out, they were much faster than they were in the previous start. So all of that adds up to me to a horse that's getting more fit, hitting peak form, and hopefully peak form today, and straight on into the winner's circle. Horse has taken the biggest drop in the field last time out, running for $64,000. This time out, running for $27,000. I like number 8, Sweet Spin. Corrals the top jockey in Gerardo, Corrales. The horse is dropping down a couple of classes. I did not like that last run at all. The horse has a spotty record coming off the bench, but does have a couple of good workouts since the last time it run. Looks to me like the horse has done about 16 furlongs of workouts since December 31st. So I do expect the horse to come back fit. If you look at its Turfway Park record, it's run 4 times with a second and a third. A first and a third. You throw that horse on any other track, it ran 4 times and hasn't sniffed the board yet. So seems like it is a fan of the all-weather track. And then number 5 is my 4th choice by default because a couple of other horses scratched out, as you mentioned, Terry, that were rated a little bit higher for me. And again, this is a horse that just seems to prefer running at Turfway Park. Run there 4 times, has a win and a second, and no thirds. You put the horse on any other track, it's run 4 times and only managed to finish in the winner's circle. Finish on the board once, running 3rd. Last time out, the horse did break its maiden, has 3 consecutive high-quality races in a row. So that ends race number 5, which, as we mentioned, is the Kiss of Death. It ends our hot dog pick 4s, Terry.
Yep.
But it starts our prime rib pick 4s. We both decided to go 3, 2 in the same races, but there's absolutely 0 chance that we can both win.
That's kind of odd. I think that's the first time, isn't it?
Well, one of the first times. Let's see. We can get 1, 7, 1, and then the last race is a killer.
Yeah.
So we can get the pick 3 together and then celebrate and hope one of us gets the pick 4 at the end.
Yeah, and you're right. I'm probably going to be sorry I didn't use Joe Talamo's horse. And the biggest reason why is a lot of times because I don't think they're going to scratch in, I don't pay much attention to them. So
maybe you might want to think about the 13 in there instead of the 8. You want to make that change, Terry, or no? Or do you want to just leave it be?
Well, I think I'll leave it be, but I'm just saying for folks out there, that 13 looks pretty good.
Yeah, when I put it in there as a note and then just put a cautionary note to myself if it scratches in, which was going to make my tickets interesting because I was going to have like 7 horses in it, but only 2 of them were going to count.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this. I'm looking at the form. Let me take the 13 and replace it with the 8.
So you're going to put the 13 where the 8 is?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So everybody make a note of that. Terry is putting the 13 where the 8 is on his hot dog pick 4. So there is a way, Terry, we both can win. Now, you know what's going to happen, right?
What's that?
You know, absolutely 100% which one of these horses is a lock to win today.
Oh, the one I just took out, the 8.
Yes, indeed. The 8 horse for sure. All right. So let's move on to race number 6, Terry. As much as I think it was very difficult to find a best bet in here, I picked the number 1 in race number 2. You picked the number 7 in race number 6. And again, at least it's one that we both agree should finish in the money.
That's right. So anyway, I like it because it won its last race at Turfway Park. And the trainer wins 28% of the time when he takes a horse that won a claiming race and brings it back to race again as a sharp 5 fertile and workout on February 11th. And then number 1, Betha Barba, ran second versus similar in the last race, receiving the highest last speed rating while doing that. Number 8, Ginny B, she drops in class today, and the trainer wins 30% of the time in the second race after claiming a horse. And then number 3, Saving Sophie. The trainer wins 40% of the time when taking blinkers off, and this horse should improve while returning to a route and has the highest speed figure at today's distance.
Yeah, as we mentioned, it is a 1 mile on the all-weather track. As we mentioned, that's 50-50. There is a little bit of inside speed bias. Only a few horses have managed to go wire to wire, and this is a claiming $18,000 race. I'm staring at number 8, Ginny B, which is your third choice, my first choice. The horse is dropping from $64,000 purse last time out to only $30,000 this time. The top pedigree horse has produced 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. And if you look at the horse's turf record, which I think is a pretty good indication of how a horse might do on all weather, although he does have 1 trip across the all weather, the turf record, if they could translate that, would make him the best horse in this field. Does have 14 solid workouts in 14 furlongs of solid workouts since the last race. Terry's top pick, my second pick, Addison. This horse is the 3rd off a layoff. Should be rolling late. If you look at the Turfway all-weather record, 2 races, a win and a third. If you're running at the distance 5 times across a 1 mile track, finished first twice, second twice. The horse has a couple really good workouts since the last race, which I like to see as well. Number 1, Beth Arbara. That's about right? That horse has the top last race speed number. It was well bet in its 2 runs at Turfway Park. You saw some really nice 2 furlong and late pace improvement in the last race. And then finally, I'm going to close it out with number 2, Princess Nina. This horse also showed some pretty good improvement internally in the first half of the race last time out, but didn't really carry it to the end. It's a horse that's getting about a 7-pound weight break as well. So maybe the horse can kind of go back and form at Turfway Park. I don't know why I want to keep calling it Turf Paradise, but does have a win and a third in 3 runs. So finished in the money 2 out of 3 races. I do like that. Race number 7 is a 6 furlong race, optional claiming $40,000, non-winners of 2. This is, I think, the highest priced race on the card. For a 6 furlong race, Terry, they've run 61 of them. 34 of them were won by speed. 18 went wire to wire. The posts 1 through 7 play fair, but there is a penalty if you wear an 8 or higher. I almost boxed this race because I felt like on the card, I felt like, and I don't know if it's going to prove to be that way, I felt like race number 7 was the most predictable.
Yeah, that could be, although you can see we've got a couple of different horses, so
maybe it's not, huh?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like, in this race, I like the number 6, Vivid Verse. ran second in its last race, and the trainer wins 22% of the time when he enters an entry in an all-weather race. Number 3, Solidified, came in from Woodbine and ran third in his first race, and then finished third in his last race. And then number 4, John's Rock, finished in the money 5 out of 5 races at Tampa Bay Downs, winning one of those races, and he earned the highest last speed rating. Then number 9, Soaring Bird, finished in the money in the last 9 races, winning 3 of those races, including the last one. And he has several good workouts to compete in today's contest.
So right as this one's closing, Terry, race number 7, as we move into race number 8, we should be live at that time or about to go live for our Players Edge podcast tonight. We're going to have on trainer Anthony Farrier from he runs his horses at Churchill Downs at come on, Charlestown and Laurel. What the hell is wrong with me today? He's got at least one horse in one of the stakes races we'll be covering at Laurel Park. Might have another one in race number 4, so it should make for a good conversation. I look forward to it, Terry. That'll be 9:30 tonight Eastern, and you can catch that right here on the Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. So if you haven't yet, please. I think we're about 40 people away from hitting the magical 1,000. I read in a book I'm reading, Terry, what percentage of accounts would you think on YouTube end up getting 1,000 subscribers?
Maybe 5%.
Yeah, it was like 13%. Yeah, it wasn't a very high number.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked at how low it was.
Yeah, it's hard to think.
Maybe it is 5%. I don't know, but but I know it was really low.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the reason why is that, you have to really keep at this, and a lot of people just don't have the tenacity to do that. And it's like when I was in business with my construction company, I always told people that are successful are the ones that are willing to do the things that other people are not. So that's probably why.
Well, I think also you have to be good at what you do, right? You might be willing to do it, but if you suck at it, what good is it, right?
That's true. That's very true.
And hopefully we're doing pretty good with our picks.
Yep.
All right, so race number 7, the second to last race. I'm going to start with number 5, Searing Chase. The lone race that it had at Turfway Park would be more than good enough. The horse is dropping. Last time out, ran for $156,000. That was a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Today, it's dropping almost $100K off of that number, running for 66. And it's put in some really good workouts, for 18 furlongs worth of them since January the 14th. There is no question Searing Chase is coming back to the track fit and ready to run. The number and it's a horse that you don't have. It's going to be a crazy day, Terry.
That's right.
Number 6, Vivid Verse at Turfway, has run 5 times. It has 3 wins and 2 seconds. What do you call that, Terry?
I'd call that a
horse for the course, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And then also the horse at the distance has run 6 times, has a win, 2 seconds and 2/3. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of put him a little bit behind the 5. I do expect the number 6, Vivid Verse, to improve the second off a layoff. And in between its first start off the bench and this one has 2 pretty good workouts. Last time out, did get out of the gates pretty quickly, running one of the fastest quarter-mile fractions for this field. Number 4, John's Rock, ran the top last race speed figure the last time it was on the track. And that's not surprising considering it does have the top pedigree. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. And when you look at its Turfway record, it's sort of a Denzel horse, but maybe not really. 5 times the horse has run at Turfway, a win, 3 seconds. So maybe likes to hang a little bit at the end of the race. And then a 3rd. And also, if you look at the all-weather, just any all-weather track, because it's run on 3 all-weather races away from Turfway Park, finished in the money 7 out of 8. So it really seems to me a horse with the pedigree for the distance, as I mentioned, and surface. And number 10, Pirate Rick. All right. I have to bet a horse that's my name.
Yeah.
And it's a pirate on top of that. So does have the top early pace numbers by a little bit over the 5-horse Searing Chase. I think the horse just needs to run back 2 spots where it ran at Turfway Park 2 races ago and just 1 wire to wire going away easy. So if it can repeat that race it's one that I feel like it could take them wire to wire again and again. I felt like this was a spot where it was my other consideration for a box it up, because I felt like, and I don't know if that intuition is going to be correct or not, but it felt like it was probably the most two-form race on the card, at least for me. And then finally, we're going to close it out with race number 8. It's a claiming $5,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. And we have some real agreement here too, Terry, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're agreement in 3 of the 4 horses. So
yes, in the first 3. Just
That's
a little
right.
different order.
A little bit different order, yeah. Well, I like number 2, Dual Fuel. Ran second versus similar in the last race and earned the highest last race speed rating. And it has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best best speed on an all-weather track is fastest among today's starters. The jockey in the last 7 days won 2 out of 8 starts. Number 5, Cardiac Kid. In his first race after being off 3 months, he ran second versus similar. And then number 13, Cleveland Simpson, drops in class today. The trainer wins 26% of the claiming races his horses are in. And this horse should improve at a shorter distance. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then number 3, Fat Account, switches to a high percentage winning jockey and should improve while returning to a route. Blinkers added today, and the jockey in the last 7 days has the record of 16 starts, 5 wins. So,
Dual Fuel, improvement across the board. This horse has a lot going for it. Ran the top last race speed figure, which produced a number above par for this class. So if it can run the same race, could run away with it, Terry. Maybe we should have made this one our best bet on the day. 3 consecutive speed figure increases and has the top early pace, late pace combo. Number 13, the lucky 13, Cleveland Simpson. I wrote again, a little note. If he scratches, lone win was at Turfway Park. Has some decent workouts getting ready for this spot. Last time out was the beaten favorite, and it's dropping 2 classes, both of which are high win rates for trainer Aaron West. It's not the guy's name, Terry, or something like that, who used to play Batman like back in the black and white days.
Adam West.
Yeah, I was thinking right. I knew it. I was like, I knew it was close to that.
Yeah.
Did you watch those when you were growing up? Or you were a little bit older than me?
Yeah, I did. I watched them. So they were funny. I love the way that they'd like hit and it would say pow.
Pow, boom. Right. And then they'd have some kind of corny like thing at the end when they were going to go to a commercial. Number 5, Cardiac Kid, is a horse that showed some improvement at every level of the race, early in the race, middle of the race, at the end of the race, last time out. If you look at its only trip at Turfway Park, the horse just missed by a little bit, by a neck. And it does have the top pedigree for this field, for the distance and for the surface. And then I'm going to close it out with a flyer. I opened up the show by saying I'm going to pick a lot of flyers on this card today. So it's either going to be a strikeout or a home run for me, Terry. I'm hoping for a home run. But this horse, number 4, Lucky in Kentucky. I mean, we're in Kentucky. We're hoping to get lucky today, Terry. It's a first time gelded. And I was reading in a book that first-time geldeds, particularly for some reason at 5 years old, which if I remember correctly, Lucky in Kentucky seems to be where it has the biggest impact. And the horse is coming back from a very long break. But if you rewind to past performances a little bit and look for a similar time in the barn, it came back and ran one of its better races. And getting prepared for this start has put in 20 furlongs, pretty decent workouts since December the 10th. So hopefully that 4 horse is a flyer that can bring home a really fat, and I'm talking about fat, Terry, prime rib pick 4.
That'd be nice.
I'm surprised that we both did 3, 3, 3, 4, but just a little bit different numbers, because I just felt like there were so many different opportunities in here for us to kind of try to make a stake claim in one race and then really branch out in others.
Yep.
So do you want to switch that 12 for the 13 there, Terry, and race number 5?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
All right. So, or do you want to leave it as is, just in case?
Let's leave it, and then because I have the 13 in my other one, so let's leave it like this.
So we'll leave it like that. So Terry went 4, 4, 3, and 4. Let's see. Can we win this? We can only win this if it goes 8. We can go with the 7, the 1. All right. The 6 horse is the 6 or the 4. And then the 13, 2, 5, and 3. So, yeah, it's funny. We can both come through this in a couple different ways. And I'm kind of shocked at that, considering all the disagreement we had on the day.
That's right.
So once again, we'll run through all of our picks. Here's our full cards. Terry's best bet is in race number 6. Mine is in race number 2. Terry boxed them up in race number 5. I boxed them up in race number 4, but also was considering race number 7. Our hot dog pick 4 in race number 2 looks like this. Terry changed the 8 horse in his and the last leg to the 13. So keep that in mind. And then our prime rib pick 4 is Terry's not going to take the 13 in that race, in the race of death. And then that wraps up our picks for today. Terry, I know you haven't gotten your shirt yet, folks, but if you haven't done, please kindly go over to horseracingtoday.net. And then click on the HRT gear link. So you see here, click on HRT gear. It'll take you over to Fantac, where you can get some fantastic saddlecloth shirts. And hopefully they'll show up sooner than later. All right, Terry, any final thoughts? Are you doing a contest today? I didn't have a chance to enter one today.
No, I'm going to take a break today because I've got a lot of stuff to do. So, and I've already qualified for the one tomorrow. I qualified for the one on Sunday, and then in another, I qualified for a couple of others in what's called a head-to-head. So
beautiful. So it sounds like you'll be busy with those. We should get the roster of horses. Terry and I are both in the one on tomorrow. So
yeah.
Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, so we're both in the one. So we should get the roster of races. Everybody out there, please do us a big favor. Cross your fingers, pray for Terry and I that we can qualify for the national horse racing competition out there in Las Vegas next year.
Yeah, and also don't forget to subscribe to you on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Horse Race the number 2 day, and like us on Facebook at Horse Race the number 2 day. And I keep missing that camera.
You know, it's kind of weird how it works, though, right? Because everything you think it's to the right, but it's really to the left.
It is, and you got to get used to that. So anyway, so all other than that, have a great day, and hope everybody ends up in the winner's circle and has a good time. So
yes, indeed. We'll see you tonight at 9:30 p.m. with Anthony Farrier. Go over some races at Laurel Park. Talk a little bit about his career as a trainer. He's been doing really well so far this year. Yes. And then tomorrow, Tom and I will be back. We'll be discussing Shay Tin out in Hong Kong. I think the last time there, I had a rough day, so hopefully I can rebound on that one. Second time off a layoff, Terry. Always room for improvement.
Works, yeah, 40% increase improvement.
Indeed. Well, I need more than that off that last day at Shay Tin. And then on Saturday, Terry and I will return triumphantly to go over all of the, I think at least 5 of the 6 stakes races at Fairgrounds, maybe all of them. We'll see. My schedule's kind of gotten a little up in the air on Saturday, so it depends on how my schedule works out. But we'll definitely be covering the Risen Star, the Rachel Alexander, and at least 3 others. So make sure you come back for that. And then, of course, Terry and I will take off Sunday, and we will be back on Monday, probably with Turf Paradise or Fairgrounds, depending upon what's running.
Yep, that's right.
And I think that's it, Terry.
It is. It is. That's all of it.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us as always. We hope that your Thursday, your picks, and everything you do in life ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Thursday, and let's really hit some home runs tonight at Turfway Park. Okay.